Hey everybody, it's me Amanda with Once in a Wild, and welcome back to Once in a Wild Wednesday, where every single Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, we broadcast live for free on YouTube as well as Facebook. If this is your first time joining us today, welcome. We are a mobile zoo based in South Texas. We are in San Antonio, Texas, and we are on Central Time, which is why we broadcast on Central Time, of course. We do bring the zoo to you in person in the South Texas area, but we can also bring the zoo to you virtually through Zoom Room Animal Encounters. If you do have kiddos that are still in school and they are still virtual, we understand they are our virtual programs are great for classroom. Make sure and book before the end of the school year arrives. We are booking all of the weekdays pretty quickly and weekends here in town for birthday parties and other special events. So please let me know if you're interested in any of that. We have birds, mammals, reptiles, creepy crawlies, amphibians, and I think that's it. Lots and lots of animals to choose from. We have over 70 animal ambassador individuals and something for just about everybody. So anything that can be supplemented with cute animals or creepy animals or all sorts of animals, we would love to help you out. There's more information down below at onceinaWilds.com, and our direct number is also down below too. This broadcast is always free of charge. We bring the zoo to you in a small way virtually here every single Wednesday, like I said. But if you would like to donate to any of our animals and to our zoo in general, of course, to help keep our business going, of course, you can book your own animal encounter. That's the best way to do so. But there are also direct donation options, including our Amazon wish list at onceinawild.com, as well as Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Those are always linked down below in the description. And you can also find the direct link at onceinawild.com as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Please remember as well that we are going to be very interactive with all of these broadcasts. Every single Wednesday, right? We do broadcast on Facebook or YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to go ahead and subscribe. That does help us out quite a bit. It's a free way to help us out too, as well as turn on the notification bell, as well as share the videos, helps us out as well very, very much. So we greatly appreciate those of you that have already subscribed to our YouTube channel. And if you haven't followed us on Facebook yet, please do so as well. But YouTube, we do need some more followers. We only have a few followers on YouTube. And the more followers we actually have, the more we can benefit from that. So that would be a lot of help. So you can subscribe, or you can actually share the channel with others that you think would actually enjoy some animal content for free. And that helps us out quite a bit. So thank you so very much for doing that. This week, we do have an update for you guys. If you haven't read the description yet, we are actually just showing one animal species. I typically show around 3 each and every week, just to kind of give you a mini presentation on a few of our animals, and I talk all about them. We do have lots and lots of animal content on our YouTube and Facebook, like I said, so you can check back at some of our previous encounters to see more additional animals. But I did want to keep it kind of simple today and actually just bring you one species, but there's 2 individuals, and I wanted to give you an update on these baby animals that we recently adopted. So about 3 weeks ago, we broadcast with these animals, and they are our opossums. So our opossums are Cooper and Alice. I want to get my notes out really quick because I want to update you guys on their progress and growth, as well as their weights and their ages. So when we got Alice, she was only about 2 months old, and she only weighed 100 grams, you guys. And you'll see how big she's gotten since just about 4 weeks ago. Well, I want to say 3.5 weeks ago since we broadcasted, right? So you've seen her about 3.5 weeks ago. And then she was only 100 grams. That is teeny tiny. That actually is about the same weight, more or less, as our teeny tiny little cockatiel birds that you guys have seen before. And cockatiels weigh very little. So that gives you an idea of how teeny tiny she was. She could fit right into the palm of my hand with little issue at all. She would just curl right up in my hand, super cute. And Cooper, the other opossum, who is a male from a different litter, he is a different age. He was about 3.5 months when we got him, and now he's about 4.5 months now, and he was only 220 grams when we first weighed him at his first vet visit, which is where we got them weighed first. If I didn't say that already, Alice was only 2 months old and 100 grams. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure and update you guys on their progress. They're doing very well. They've already done several programs, not just virtually, but in person as well. And they've been excellent animal ambassadors, especially little Alice. Little Alice is quite quite brave, and will just sit still and be very, very good for programs, including in classrooms with lots of kids and even birthday parties too. So they've been doing very well, and I'm very proud of them already. Let's see who's chiming in. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. This is always a very interactive broadcast, like I said. And if you have any questions about any of the animals that you've met in the past or the animals that we're presenting today, feel free to ask me your questions down below in the comments. I will do my very best to answer your questions if I know the answer, as well as feel free to leave me a comment just saying hi and let me know who's watching. If you have your kids with you, let me know which kids are watching with you. We always love to hear from our fans and followers and family members, right? So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring our opossums out. You'll notice we have a little platform here. They are very holdable and they do just fine being held, but I wanted to actually offer them some food items right here on the broadcast so you can see how they eat. Hopefully they will go ahead and eat. Opossums are known for eating all sorts of different things. They are opportunistic omnivores. Not everything is healthy for them to eat, of course, but they can eat just about everything. So some of their healthiest food items and some of their treat items I brought for you guys to see what they like best. And I bet anything that it's going to be the treat items, but I'll explain that when we get to there. First, I'm going to bring them out one by one, and then if they're doing really well, I might have them out here together, two of them together, and eating together. They definitely get along just fine. They've been living together this whole time. They're still very young, so they get along great, and we will play that by ear as we go. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring Alice out first. I have to reach down in here into their travel enclosure, which I always bring our animals into the studio, or when we travel anywhere, I put them in a travel enclosure to keep them nice and safe and contained, of course, right? But we also put a blanket in there, and they're nocturnal, so a lot of times they'll just kind of take a little nap underneath the blanket, which is actually great because they travel very well and they don't really mind being in small spaces. So here comes Alice, you guys. Here is Alice. Little Alice has gotten quite large. So little Alice, again, she was only 2 months old when we first received her. And of course, that's a guessed age because we weren't there when she was born. She looked about 2 months old, and that's what we're our best guess there. And you guys, make sure, yeah. I almost didn't realize who was who because she's gotten so big, right? She looks like Cooper. So Alice, just wanted to double check before I kept talking. That's so funny. So Alice was only 100 grams when we first got her. See how much she's grown? If you look back at the video from 3 weeks ago, you can see she's gotten a lot bigger. She's doing really well, nice and healthy. She eats like a horse. She eats like an opossum, an omnivore, eating anything they want, right? Pretty much. And now she's 380 grams. So she went from 100 grams even to 380 grams. I literally just weighed her right before the show. I think she's smelling my face and my lip gloss and looking for those yummy snacks. So opossums, you guys, are really awesome animals. They are actually marsupials. They are related to kangaroos, wallabies, other marsupials like koalas, tree kangaroos, Tasmanian devils. They're all in the same family, which is the marsupials. Marsupials are born extremely tiny. Usually mother opossums are only pregnant for a couple of weeks maximum, and they have their babies this big. So she went from this big at birth, which is about the size of a gummy bear, to this big now at 3 months old or so, right? And they do a lot of growing very quickly. And when they're born, they have to crawl into mom's pouch. Now, mother opossum can actually have up to 25 or so babies in one birth. However, they only have 13 areas to nurse their young. Do you want to get down here? You can get down here. See how cute she is when she crawls around. They can be ground-dwelling or terrestrial, as well as arboreal a little bit at this age, especially. The bigger they get, the more ground-dwelling or terrestrial they are. But come on over, Alice. They want to see you. Maybe I'll go ahead and offer her some treats. So I brought her some fruit mixed with yogurt. Yum! You want to eat some fruit mixed with yogurt for the people? I'm going to put it where you can reach it. And I bet she will just start eating it, you guys. She's a good eater. She loves her snacks. She's always looking for snacks anytime she comes out because she usually gets rewarded with yummy food. And that is very, very good associations, right? So when opossums are born, like I said, they're born very tiny. They have to crawl in mom's pouch. And the first 13 babies that make it into mom's pouch, they get to nurse first. She's eating a piece of apple right now, you guys. There's apple, strawberry, and yogurt mixed together in there. Yogurt is actually very good for them. It is non-sweetened. Oh, we got a little fruit fly in here too. Hello, friend. It's non-sweetened yogurt. It's actually no sugar. She's getting a bit of sugar in the fruit, right? But it's more natural sugar. We don't really feed them a ton of fruit. It's just for treats, special occasions. What are you looking at, ghosts? She's like, what's over there? My shadow. But they are, let's go back to the birth story, right? Sorry about that. I keep getting distracted by our cute animal. She's so cute. What are you looking at? Over here, baby. Maybe she's hearing the fruit fly flying around, and they will probably share the food. So they're born very tiny. Like I said, they crawl in mom's pouch. The first 13 babies that make it into the pouch get to start nursing. There's only 13 areas to nurse. Her little areas for nursing, if you know what I mean. All mammals have them, right? They're actually in a circular pattern, and they will latch on and begin drinking milk. Are you okay? It's okay. Eat your food. She's like super distracted and spaced out. It's okay. So these guys are prey animals, especially at this age. They're prey all their life. But when they're very tiny is when they usually are a little bit more nervous. I'm just going to show her the food again so she doesn't feel too nervous. When they start eating, they usually calm down. So those babies that make it into the pouch, they can nurse up to 13 at once, right? Can you face the camera? And they will spend about 2 months inside of mom's pouch, nursing and growing really strong and big, getting hair. Actually, their eyes will open at that time and their ears will start opening. And when they reach about 2 to 2.5 months is when they start leaving the pouch, but they won't really leave mom yet. Are you looking at your own shadow? There's literally nothing there. And they will actually crawl on mom's back after that and stay on mom's back for another month or so until there's just no more room for all those 13 babies to hang out on mom's back. They will share mom's back kind of side by side in a little row, in a row together, and they'll cling for dear life, especially when they're super young and first getting on mom's back. That is definitely important because they're not ready to be on their own quite yet. They do have gripping hands. You probably saw her grab onto the bowl. They do have gripping feet as well. And both their feet and their hands have thumb-like digits. They're pretty much thumbs on both feet and hands for gripping mom's fur. And they can even climb bushes and trees and things too. It is okay. There's nothing there. There's no ghosts. I promise. Just like, oh, I want to eat some more fruit. I might offer her some other different snacks too. I brought 2 different options, one savory and one sweet. I figured they'd like the sweet the best. But she seems a little distracted by her own shadow over there. Opossums are also nocturnal animals. And a lot of times when there's a lot of light, they might be a little suspicious of what's going on, but they do tend to adjust pretty well to that lifestyle when they are in human care. She's licking some of the yogurt now. Yum. So I do feed my opossums yogurt or milk replacer that's made for puppies on their meals because it's very important for them to get calcium sources. Opossums, hi, that's okay, it's just me. Opossums can sometimes get metabolic bone disease, just like reptiles. So they have that in common with reptiles. So if they don't get enough calcium in their diet or the right balance of food, they can actually get rubbery bones and have all sorts of issues with their development. So it's especially important at this age, but really for their whole life. So what we typically feed them for their base meal, not this is actually a treat. Yum, yum. And she seems to really like it. She's got a mouthful of delicious fruits. But they usually get a mixture of yogurt, usually puppy formula too. I'll do a little bit of that typically at this age. But of course, either one of those is very important. They also get some sort of vegetables that have calcium, like broccoli or collard greens, something very healthy like that. I chop it up really finely because they don't really like the veggies and I mix it all together. They also get a grain-free dog food, usually going to be canned dog food. That way it's a little bit more tasty for them. And I also feed them sometimes grain-free hard dog food as well, just kind of on top. They really like the hard dog food as well. I feel like I'm forgetting something. And then that's your base. And then they also get things added to it, like maybe banana every once in a while. Maybe they get some chicken parts, like chicken hearts or raw chicken wing, or even animals like sardines. These guys are opportunistic omnivores. That means they can eat almost anything they want. So out in nature, they'll eat all sorts of things. Would you like me to hold you while you eat snacks, or you're done with your snacks? We'll put the snacks down for just a little bit. There's a little bit left. Would you like this? Yum. No, thank you. She's like, I'm over it. And things are messy, and they don't like to be messy. They'll clean themselves up when they eat. After they eat, if they feel like they are too messy, they will actually lick themselves clean. They're very clean animals, and they like to be clean. Would you like more? What if you come over here where we can see you? Sometimes the table works out and sometimes it doesn't. Here you go. Here you go. If this doesn't work out, I'll offer her the other food items, but I thought she would like the fruit better. Let's try this. So in this mixture, I've got that dog food I talked about. It's grain-free dog food. It's canned dog food. There's also chicken hearts in there too. They seem to really like those. Let's scoot it over a little bit more. And there is yogurt in there too. And after we're done, we will mix the veggies in there. I knew that if I put the veggies in there now, they may not eat on camera, but in their home, and I mix it in really nicely with their small, finely chopped or scissored chopped up veggies. Like when I have like meat scissors that I use for the meat items, obviously, but I also use the meat scissors sometimes to chop up like broccoli really fine and things. And I can mix it right into their diet, but they get all sorts of things to eat as well, kind of supplemental to each and every day. And today is going to be chicken hearts. I don't get that every day. Yes, hello, Reginald. How are you? He says, hey, I'm glad I was able to tune in for a bit. Yeah, we've missed you. Trying to watch while at work. No worries. Alice is really enjoying those treats. Look at her go. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Always enjoy animal education. Yeah, so again, Alice is just a little 3-month-old opossum. Look at her eat. She's so cute. I love the way they eat. But they are very, very misunderstood animals sometimes. A lot of people think they might be in the rodent family. And rodents can actually make us sick with diseases they carry and transfer to us. And rodents carry lots of parasites and things like that. So it's really important, number one, to avoid touching any wild animal if you can help it, unless it is a rescue situation where you see a tiny baby animal that needs saving. Sometimes even those situations, you want to leave them alone and let mom and dad do the work. However, most of the time you do want to just not touch any wildlife, because if you don't know what you're doing, you could either harm them on accident, or they could harm you, of course, because they are wild animals. They're not all going to be used to people like Alice is, right? But they are not rodents. They do not carry all the diseases that rodents can carry. Viruses usually don't stay in their bodies long enough to transfer to another animal. They can get viruses very rarely, such as rabies, but it's like a 2% chance, so super low chances already. Delicious chicken hearts. That's what you wanted today. Okay, I got you. Also, they don't usually live long enough to transfer rabies or any viruses to other animals, and they also eat all of the parasites off of their own body. One of their favorite and most famous things to eat in the wild is going to be ticks. Ticks can definitely carry diseases from animal to animal, because they're blood-sucking animals, right? And they transfer diseases. And so do mosquitoes. If mosquitoes or ticks or fleas end up on the opossum's body, they literally eat them right off of their body and lick themselves clean, kind of like a cat does. Cats actually eat fleas too off of their own body. But opossums, oh, she's gonna lick her arms clean, you guys. I told you, if she feels a little messy, she's gonna clean right up. So they're very clean animals. Look at that. That is adorable. She does look very rat-like, but they're not rats. And also, they don't really bite people. They certainly don't attack you or your pets. They would much rather just be left alone. Are you going to leave so you can be alone? Right on cue. They would much rather be left alone to do their own thing. And they're solitary animals. They don't infest like rats and mice can with their babies, right? Have a little snack, Alice. And like I said, they keep their babies in the pouch or on their back. And then once the babies are ready to leave their mom, they just leave. They don't infest your home or tear up your home or anything like that. They're not a very strong animal either. So they're really not going to do any damage for your property or to your pets. And what they do when they get scared, for example, she's just going to groom herself right on top of me. When they get scared, they usually just open their mouth and look really scary. They have 50 teeth, so they show them off to look really, really impressive. And their mouth opens up really wide and impressively. And they hiss really loud sometimes. Sometimes they will drool as well. And all of that looks really scary, but it's really not... it's just all bluff. They're not really going to run after you and attack anybody. And then if they feel even more scared, a lot of times their system will just kind of like overload with fear, and they actually faint or pass out. And they will play dead for up to 4 hours. Now that does sound a little bit counterintuitive, to play dead or lay down in front of your enemies or predators, right? But it actually works out pretty well, because most animals that see that process happen, it looks like the opossum actually just died in front of them. So that means to most animals instinctively that they are sick, which they are not. It's all pretend, or just kind of like automatically happens to them for survival. They're not sick. They're actually just pretending to be. But they pass out, their eyes roll back in the back of their head, they will drool, They will go to the restroom on themselves, number one and number two usually, which is pretty stinky, right? They also have anal glands, just like cats and dogs, and a lot of times their anal glands will smell like death. So all of that will look like the animal just died of a disease right in front of the predator. Therefore, they're probably not healthy to eat, right? And that is all a great defense mechanism. I am going to go ahead and put Alice down just for a little bit to see if Cooper would like some food. Cooper is our male. And you will not believe, you guys, how big Cooper has gotten. I guess I'll try the fruit first with him, see how he likes it, and then we'll go back to the savory snacks. Just like we did with Alice. So they get a really bad reputation, but they're extremely beneficial. They do help us out by eating lots of nasty things that most animals cannot eat. They can eat rotting, dead animals that have gone bad, and most animals cannot eat them except vultures and other scavengers like them and vultures. They can also eat plants that are harmful to most other animals. They can even eat venomous snakes too. And we love snakes here at Once in a While, but if that makes you feel better about having less venomous snakes on your property, you definitely want to invite opossums onto your property too. So if you see an opossum in your own backyard, don't worry. They're actually very harmless to humans. Your pets at home actually might be a lot more harmful to an opossum than they are going to harm them or harm you at all. So opossums are very, very, very beneficial to have around. They also eat lots of insects, which helps us to stay healthy as well. So they're pretty cool. If you find an opossum in your trash, it's probably because and the trash was secure in the first place. Maybe the trash was open, anybody can get in there. But if the trash can was shut and you find an opossum in your trash can, first of all, you can just tip it over and they'll leave on their own usually, and don't scare them so that they'll leave, because if you scare them, they're just gonna play dead and be there for a while, up to 4 hours. If you see a dead opossum, wait a while before you dispose of the body, by the way. Now, if you see an opossum in your trash, they probably weren't the first ones to end up in the trash. Typically, opossums get blamed for turning over trash bins and all those things, but they typically aren't the first offender, if that makes sense. Typically, it's going to be a dog, maybe a big cat, but also raccoons. Raccoons get in trash a lot, and they have very strong grips and very strong hands and lots of brains up top. So raccoons can often figure out ways to get into trash bins, knock them over with their strong strength, and then opossums just come over after the aftermath and actually, oh, free food on the floor, free food in this open trash can bin, and they get blamed because they weren't able to get away in time, and the raccoon is already ran away, if that makes sense. So opossums get a lot of bad reputations, but it's really not merited, is it? So I'm going to show you Cooper. When we got Cooper, he was 3.5 months old. Now he's 4.5 months old. And remember, they're not relation. Alice and Cooper are actually from different scenarios. Alice came from a Good Samaritan who found her in their backyard, very, very tiny, very, like, even she was about this big when we got her. She was probably about this big when she was found initially. And she went to a rehabber for a while to be nursed to a certain point to be able to go to a new home, which was with us. But she was just basically had fallen out of the mom's pouch or something like that, most likely, very young. And then Cooper was actually found stuck in a fence with a few other siblings. And we were able to adopt Cooper because he was one of the calmest of all the babies. And we got to use him for our collection for an animal ambassador, because not every opossum gets to be an animal ambassador. Only the calmest, the most imprinted on humans, and least wily of all of them. So a lot of times rehabbers will have these animals and be able to determine which ones will be the most suited for animal ambassador work, like we do here Once in a While, or in zoos and things like that. And both Alice and Cooper are pretty chill opossums. So let's go ahead and bring out Cooper. Come on, Cooper. So Cooper is now a lot bigger, you guys. First, I have to find him under the blanket. So when you put opossums in a small container, like I have, just their travel enclosure. So it's basically just like a travel crate for like cats and things. When you put them in there, I put a blanket in there, and a lot of times they'll just curl up and go to sleep. So at first I have to find him, and then we'll bring him out. Can you come on out? You want to come up here and get some snacks? Look at this. So Cooper is now 4.5 months old, more or less, and he weighs 620 grams. He only weighed 220 grams when he first arrived here, just about 3.5 weeks ago. So he's gotten a lot bigger. He is a male, so he is anticipated to be bigger than Alice. Males tend to be a few pounds larger than a female. I've seen big female opossums too, but I've also seen very tiny opossums. One opossum that I used to work with, her name was Juniper. Juniper was a teeny tiny little opossum. She was super, super small. I don't know if Alice is going to be as small, but she might be. And Cooper might be a great big opossum. He just got a piece of strawberry. Seems to really like that. but he's a sweetheart as well. Cooper has a totally different personality than Alice. Alice likes to crawl all over my arms and kind of just sit up high when I'm presenting, and Cooper prefers to be on the shoulder. So he'll probably want to go on my shoulder here in a little bit if he feels like it. I'm not going to force him to if he doesn't want to. Keep eating the snacks, Cooper. It's over here. It's okay. But he seems to need a little bit more reassurance from me for whatever reason. He doesn't have as outgoing of a personality, but he's still a super sweetheart, especially for being a wild animal, right? Let me check out your comments. You love opossums, Reginald? That's good. You can tell everybody about them and how awesome the opossum is and how beneficial they are to have around. Oh, it's okay. I don't see your comments coming up double, so it's just on your end, I think. Those ears, I know. Can you believe, Jeffrey, how much they've grown in just like 3 weeks time, 3.5 weeks? So right now they're getting some apple and banana mixed with yogurt. And I do have a bowl of savory items too, which is going to be yogurt again for calcium's sake, and also dog food and chicken hearts today, which Alice seemed to really prefer over the fruit. Maybe she's more of a savory gal than a sweets gal. Can you see him using his little hand to grip onto the bowl? They do have amazing gripping hands with thumbs, and their feet also have thumbs too. Their feet are so very cute. They remind me of wearing like fingerless gloves. As you can tell, we named them Alice and Cooper after Alice Cooper because of the eyeliner and the fingerless gloves. Of course, right? We have a lot of musical names here at Once in a Wild. I love how they chew. They chew kind of very rudely, but for an opossum, it's really cute. A lot of animals chew with their mouth open. Please don't do that at home, kids. It's not really as well accepted in the human world, is it? When you eat with your mouth open and smack a lot, it's not really good. It's kind of rude for humans, but for opossums and other animals, it's pretty adorable, isn't it? You can just watch him eat all day. So sometimes they will chew and chew and chew on the food, and then they're kind of getting the juices and the flavor. And then sometimes they decide they don't like some texture, so they'll spit some of it out. Sometimes they'll go back and eat it later in their enclosure. But right now he spit some of the apple out, but he ate most of it. But that's almost like a baby when they're learning to eat as well. They're still babies. They're very young. So opossums are typically mature, I believe, at 6 months, maybe even sooner than that. I know they can start having babies at around 6 months. And they are just amazing animals. They have very long pink tongues. I'm sad that you can't see it right now. He's kind of hiding underneath the view of the rim of the bowl there. Opossums, as far as their senses go, sense of smell is going to be the best sense. Then their sense of hearing after that. You mentioned how big the ears are. They do have very bat-like ears. Would you like a savory snack next? Come on, Cooper. Cooper. Come back and have a savory snack. Come on, son. You can do it, dear. You can do it. I bet he's going to go for those chicken hearts, just like his pseudo-sister. Can you see the tail? So opossums do have a bare tail, and they have a very rat-like appearance. Rats also have a similar tail to this, right? So an opossum has a much more prehensile tail than a rat, but both rats and opossums do not have the strength to hold themselves up by the tail. I could gently potentially lift his hind end up with the tail, but I'm not really going to do that. That's not really healthy for them. Oh my goodness, you love it. Delicious. He's like, I'm eating it so fast that I'm going to like, get too much in my mouth, my goodness. But that is why their tail is actually bare. It helps them to have like a fifth limb. It's a prehensile tail. Just because it can't lift their entire body weight doesn't mean that it's not prehensile. Prehensile just means grasping. Some animals can lift their whole body weight with the tail, like tamandua anteaters and certain monkeys and animals like that can potentially lift their entire body weight. Even chameleons can do that too, as some of you guys have learned on our channel before. Can you hear the smacking? I need some, what do you call it, SMR? Like a little microphone. That's what it sounds like. Delicious, Cooper. You're doing very well. So good. Very, very good. But that is why the tail is actually bare. It gives them a better grip than if it were to have like a plush, luxurious, hairy tail. His hair is very cute. But the tail, I think, is cute. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's really, really cute. I've always liked prehensile-tailed animals with bare tails like this. Like tamandua anteaters actually have a lot less hair on their tails than other anteaters because they're arboreal. These animals aren't the best climbers in the world, but as babies, of course, they grip onto their mom's back, like I said already. They'll grip onto mom's back, and this helps them to kind of grip onto mom. That is super cute, Cooper. But they also do climb bushes and trees as youngsters. I've seen opossums climb straight up trees at this age and maybe a little younger. As they get bigger, though, they're a little more clumsy and they're a little more heavy, so it's just harder for them to climb. But they still can some, and some very, very healthy opossums that don't have MBD or metabolic bone disease, which is common in them, unfortunately, they can climb just fine at older ages too. Can you come back over here at least? He's like, I'm gonna be off you for a little bit and gather some of this mess up. Cooper, you're so very cute. Come here, Cooper. Oh, did you guys have any questions about our opossum? I am very, very happy that they're doing very well. You can see him using that sense of smell. Do you want more? That's fine. Come on, sweetheart. Cooper is a little bit more, I don't want to say shy. He's just a little bit more quiet of a personality than Alice. Alice is like, let me at it. Like anything that happens, she's like super into it. Cooper's a little bit more shy. There we go. And quiet personalitied. Yum. They do have a great sense of smell. Like I said, they're always searching around with their sense of smell for the next snack or danger or anything at all. They have a great sense of touch as well. They have many, many whiskers on their face, all over their nose and snout, and even on their cheeks and eyebrows. They have whiskers that are very long. Can you see them? And their hearing is excellent. They have kind of bat-like ears, right? Their ears are kind of bare. I don't really know why. If anybody else there knows why opossums have bare ears, I would love to know. I mean, bare like B-A-R-E, not bear like bear. But you know what I mean? They're naked ears. They're hairless. So I would love to know why. I have never learned that yet. But they do remind me of bats. And they have great hearing. And they also have okay vision. Their vision isn't the best. And of course, it deteriorates with age, just like any animal. And but they can see. And they're quite responsive to things that they see, like shadows and movement and whatnot. How do you tell if a baby is a boy or girl? They're actually very easy to tell. So how do I describe this without breaking my G-rated family rules? I'll just say that the male parts are a little bit reversed compared to other males. Look it up. It's pretty cool. So the male parts on a baby opossum, even when they're tiny, are very obvious, to me anyway. They're very obvious. And on a girl, they have a pouch, even at birth. So only the girls have a pouch. At a young age, it kind of looks like a big belly button. For me, that's a little bit harder to see than the male parts. But it's almost like any other mammal. I mean, you can really kind of tell. They're not like reptiles or anything like that where they're really super hard to tell. Yeah, so we can definitely tell that Cooper is a boy and that Alice is a girl, which is cool. I'm going to see if they'll both kind of come out and eat together. That would be super cute, you guys. Let me see. Where should we put that? Right there. Alice, would you like to come back out? She's already gone back and curled up and taken a nap. They do nap a lot, especially during the day. They're quite nocturnal as the species goes. Just going to come out and share, I think. And I'll just make sure they don't go too far over this direction. Hi, sweetie. Aren't they adorable, you guys? For those of you that live in the United States, and I'm sure most of you do that are watching right now, but who knows? This is the only marsupial species that we have in the US. There are many marsupial species all over the planet. Most of them are going to be, well, not all over the planet. I take it back. Most of them are going to be concentrated in the old world, of course. They're going to be over in Australia, and surrounding islands. And some of them are down in South America. Here in the United States, we have the Virginia opossum, and that's it. And down south in South America, we have other opossum species, but there are no possums in the Americas at all. You want to come back over here and eat snacks? Have you given yourself the hiccups? Have snacks. Yes. She's like, what does that great big light mean over there? It's a great big studio light, and you don't understand what it is, do you? It is okay. It is okay. He's like, whoa, I'm blinded by the light. So when you pronounce this animal, it is the opossum, not the possum. A lot of people do call them possum, and it's okay to call them a possum for short. Just be aware that that is not the species name. It's the Virginia opossum. Opossum literally means white face. In, I don't know which dialect, but a Native American dialect, it means white face. And that is what they were called when they were first discovered by colonial people coming over to the Americas at first. They learned the name that they were using and it just kind of stuck. The Virginia opossum was, I believe, first seen by the Europeans in Virginia, and that's why they got the name the Virginia opossum. That makes sense. Sometimes animals are named for wherever they were discovered. Virginia opossums do exist in Canada as well as Mexico as well. Pretty neat. Speaking of Mexico, it is Cinco de Mayo today. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hope you're celebrating with your family in a responsible way. And I hope you are having a lot of fun today. Let me know what you're doing today to celebrate. But that was a very good question. Thank you for asking that. Kathleen, cutie. Yes, they are. They are so cute. We saw another wild opossum outside of our house not too long ago, and they're pretty common around here, aren't they? Look at Alice cleaning up her hands. That's not food, it's my finger. Do you want some more strawberry? Would you like some? Here. Yum. She's like, yes, please. Or you can just lick the yogurt off of it. Would you like it? Here. Take it. You take it. Here. Would you like one? Would you like one? Here you go. Here, Goop. Don't fight over it. I'll put it in there for you. What about a piece of apple? Yes. Maybe? Yeah, there you go. So cute. Well, we're happy to see that they're doing very well. They've already been to several programs at their young age, and they're going to be great animal ambassadors, I think. Let me know what you guys would love to see next week. I would love to see you guys again next week. I don't want to close just yet. It's only 7 o'clock. But I do want to know what you guys would like to see. Sometimes when you have so many live streams, right, you run out of topics, but I would love to do some more topical, is that the word? Topic driven live streams. And I would love to know what you guys would like to know as well. So please leave some suggestions in the comments down below. We have several animals to learn about, right? But I thought you guys would love an update on our beautiful opossum. So some of the threats that opossums face in the United States and other places that they live in the wild, if you will, are going to be from city life because they are urban wildlife, which means they've adapted pretty well. What are you guys looking at? Ghosts down there that I don't see? They keep looking at the wall like, whoa, what is down there? Nothing's down there. Come on. Come back. They're literally just staring off into space. There you go. There you go. Oh, so a lot of their problems that they face in city life is going to be, of course, poisons in trash that they get into, cats and dogs. Always keep your cats inside when possible, please, 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 or supervised. And please don't let your cats free roam because they do oftentimes get baby opossums very easily, or even adult opossums. They can actually do a lot of damage to lots of native wildlife. Cats in general, they're invasive species, and other invasive species as well can actually do them damage as well. Another thing that actually harms them in the wild is going to, well, in city life, is going to be cars. And that's going to be the demise of many animals that live around cities and around humans, is going to be vehicles. Because, of course, they're not a fast animal, are they? They're not very fast, especially as they get older. And also, one of their main methods to stay safe is going to be playing dead if they feel afraid enough. So playing dead in the middle of the road, of course, doesn't help against cars, right? And they might be literally just little sitting ducks in the middle of the road, and that's very sad. So we can, of course, always be looking out when we're driving to the best of our ability, but there's only so much we can do, right? We don't want to be, what I'm trying to say is it's not always possible to slow down in time, but just something to be aware of, right? And to realize that humans definitely have a huge impact on the environment and wildlife in your environment, right? Luckily, though, opossums are not an endangered species. They're actually an unchanged animal for 60 million years. They were around during a lot of time, or during the time of a lot of other prehistoric animals that are now extinct, but they are very successful animals because of the way they've been able to adapt to different situations and scenarios and different weather patterns and all sorts of things like that. They are very, very well adapted to all sorts of things. So, and they're opportunistic omnivores. So they can eat almost anything they find. And that sometimes will get them into trouble. But that's also the reason that they're so successful as a species. Can you come here? I can't have you wander off too far. Oh, yes, so very cute. But next time you see an opossum, you'll know to leave them alone. If you see a very tiny baby opossum this time of year, it's probably okay. Oh, sorry, you guys. Sorry, you guys, I'm still here, I promise. I'm here. Oh, no. The wrong camera's on. I'm going to switch it. Hey. Everything's fine. I don't know what happened. I had my timer on and I think my camera just decided to say no. So that happens sometimes on a live stream, doesn't it? And we just keep rolling. But these guys are very, very well adapted to all sorts of scenarios and situations, right? So their species as a whole has been doing very, very well. However, humans haven't been around as long, right? So we unfortunately are doing a lot of damage to species in general. And the best thing we can do for them is watch out on the road. Make sure your trash can lid is nice and secure and closed. Come back over here, children. Come back over here, children. And make sure your cats are inside. Make sure your dogs are not going after them too, to the best of your ability. I know accidents happen, but cats and dogs are definitely a big threat to them too. They do have natural predators like owls. Owls end up being probably their main predator because they're also out at night when they're out too. But also coyotes, foxes, hawks, all sorts of. She's trying to eat my shirt now. You want more snacks? I will feed you, I swear. Here you go. Eat the snacks. She's like, this shirt is bright colored, or has a pattern at least, so I'm going to try to eat it. Come on. Or it might smell good from the laundry detergent too. I bet that's part of it too. Go ahead and eat. I know you want some. You're trying to eat my shirt. He's going to come up and see the camera here in a minute. He's looking at the computer. Oh my gosh, you guys. Opossum's running amok. Running amok. I think I had a question over here that I haven't addressed yet. Do they stay in the same enclosure? That's a great question. Thank you for your question. For now, yes, they do. And right now they're getting along just fine. They actually snuggle together when they sleep most of the time. We are planning to have them spayed and neutered. So hopefully they will continue to get along. Some opossums get along great and some of them don't. Opossums are actually a naturally solitary animal. So if we have to separate them, it's okay. They're going to be fine. They're not really going to be upset about that at all. But as long as they do get along and they seem to enjoy each other's company, we'll monitor it every single day, right? We will keep them together as long as we can. I know that some get along just fine. Did she surprise you? Oh, she's going to eat my hand. Come on. So that was not aggression, you guys. That's her looking for food. So they're using their sense of smell, right? And they're looking for snacks. So their vision isn't that good. And if my hand smells good, she will try to nibble me. She's nibbled me a few times and it doesn't hurt. She's actually just kind of testing out things. She's nibbled on Cooper's tail too to see if it was edible as well. So I think they just kind of are super exploratory with their mouth, especially at this age. And they can hear each other eating. So when one of them starts eating, typically the other one will come over and like try to see where the food is at. That makes sense to me. And they'll learn from each other, right? And learn from their moms too. Come on, Cooper, let's go. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the update on our opossum. They might be about done, so I might go ahead and say goodbye early today. I usually go a bit longer, but I think they're ready to go back to their home, I guess, behind the scene. But they seem to be having a lot of fun tonight. It worked out really well, I think, to see them eating. That was really cute, and I hope you enjoyed it. You guys want to come back over here? But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. We hope to see you next week, of course. Same time, same place here on Facebook, and YouTube is where we usually are every single Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Stay tuned for fun announcements coming up. We don't have any big events coming up yet, but if we do, we will surely put them on onceinawild.com so you can see all of our events and things going on. I only see tails, but they're still here, right? And let me know what you would like to see next week, and I am definitely open to suggestions as always. Can you come back over here? Come on, sweetheart. To say goodbye to our audience. Ooh, so cute. I love their hands. And let me know if you have any other questions. Sorry, you guys. I'm just keeping up with the children while keeping up with everything else. And it's a one-woman show, right, as always. Oh, there we go. She's going to groom herself. That's super cute. What else was I going to say? If you'd like to donate to our zoo, as always, we super appreciate any donation. The best way to donate is by arranging your own animal encounter. We can do virtual encounters just like this, where you can actually select the animals that you get to meet. You can meet up to 8 animals per hour-long Zoom session, and you can also meet up to 8 animals per hour-long in-person animal encounter too. If you're in the South Texas area, and you would like a mini petting zoo, that's something that we can provide. All sorts of fun events like birthday parties and other fun events like office events too. Cooper's exploring the light over there. He's like, whoa, so bright. That's so cute to see them exploring. I just want you to be able to see him. because we're on camera. And if you guys would like any of that, so the mini petting zoo typically includes our 2 Pekin ducks, Gansito and Lucas. We usually bring Iggy and one of his guinea pig friends, so 2 guinea pigs. We usually bring the 2 tortoises, Shelton John and Frank Sinatra. And then we bring Sandor, the Flemish giant rabbit, of course, and we typically bring Eddie the bearded dragon. That is your mini petting zoo of sorts. Those work out very well for young children and really anybody. Adults love that setup as well. You get to spend some time inside the pen with the animals and touch them, maybe even hold them in your laps, and etc. That's really fun. Some of them you can even feed sometimes. And then the other types of experiences are basically an hour-long presentation. That's what we start at. You can actually add on as much time as you want to after that. Hour-long presentation with the animals that you get to pick for the presentation. And there's many, many choices of that. So if you're interested in an in-person animal encounter or virtual, please let me know. You can visit onceinawild.com for more information. And the best way to get a hold of me is my number right down below as well. You can ask about all the details. If you do want to donate to us, though, we do have Venmo, Cash App, as well as PayPal. All those links are down below. And we also have our Amazon wish list, which has specially selected items, which I have just updated actually, for the animals themselves. And that will help us out too. Come back over here. Aww. We hope you have enjoyed our program as always, and we hope to see you next week here at Once in a Wild, you guys. Ha ha ha. We are nothing close to ordinary, but we love to be your friend. Hold our hands and let's have fun together, singing as loud as you can. Everybody singing Once in a Wild. Together. Once in a Wild. I wanna hear you say Once in a Wild. And that's the fun for me and you. We'll see everybody next time. Have a great rest of your week, you guys. Bye.